So it's Guineas week, and Guineas week is a good week for me generally. Um, One of the advantages you have is you have a big meeting at Punchestown, a twilight meeting coming up this week. That gives the week a bit of a kick. We've got the evening racing in place as well, and I'm off to a good start this week already. So I'm looking forward to this week. And Guineas week in the past has produced some good results for me. And for years I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could get £1,000 from the 1,000 guineas? But I've never been able to achieve the goal of getting 2,000 from the 2,000 guineas. But it's just an arbitrary, silly thing that you want to do. But it is possible to pull out some decent results from this particular, or these set of races. And that's because it's the first classic of the season. So the Guineas, if my memory serves me correctly, was founded in 1809. And a guinea, out of interest, is 21 shillings. A shilling is 5p, so it's £1.05. And it's interesting actually, because if you look, I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing that 2,000 and 1,000 guineas was the prize money that was on offer, perhaps, I don't know, maybe. And that hasn't kept rate with inflation if you look at the prize money that's being offered for this particular race. But it's an interesting market. It's not as big a meeting as a lot of the other meetings that you see. But nonetheless, being the first classic of the season, it draws a lot of attention. If you remember, there was this race a few years ago with Frankel. That's when Frankel, came bursting onto the scene. So it's very often seen as a meeting that is a precursor or showing the way in terms of some talent that could be prominent in the coming seasons, or hopefully even this season. So there's a lot of attention focused on the meeting, and it generally trades quite well. The only problem I found over the last few years, though, is when you get a bit of quality on the card, one of the problems that we seem to see now is everybody goes a bit overboard for it. And it's fine being enthusiastic and really interested in some of these big meetings, but half the problem that you get is there's too much hype for them. And so the market gets drowned in all of the hype. There's too much money, it doesn't fill fast enough, all of these sort of things. And I sort of suspect that may happen with the Guineas this year. But of course, there's so many ways to skin a cat and different ways to trade the market, and you can never quite exactly predict how something's going to go. You can make a judgment on roughly how it's going to go, but it's only when you actually sit there and feel it will you actually know how it's likely to trade. So, my response will always be to, dip my toes into the water of a meeting and get a bit more aggressive. And I'll certainly be aggressive on the two feature races, because they're races that I would really like to get a big total from. And I can't guarantee that I will, but I'm certainly going to try. And I would be surprised if I make a loss on those two races. Typically what happens is I push it too hard and can break it. So for me it's a judgment of trying to push it a little bit harder but not go totally overboard, because if I can't get my orders filled quickly and I can't get in and out of positions quickly, the level of risk increases. But I've had some pretty good results from this particular meeting over the years, and I expect to get a pretty good result this week as well. I almost missed it this year actually, because I was going to head off to the US, and I'll tell you why at the weekend, or demonstrate why I was going to go to the US this weekend. So I was going to miss it this year, but as it turned out I just couldn't pull everything together to do the trip this year, so I'm going to probably have to push that back another week. But I'll update you about that and why I would be heading off to the US at the weekend. So yeah, I will be here this year. I will give it a good shot, see what I can do, and try and get something out of the meeting. And generally it is a pretty good meeting, and we've got Punchestown running for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I think, or no, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That adds a bit of momentum to it. We've got the evening racing as well, so starting to get more actively involved in that. So for me, Guineas Weeks represents the real big push into the summer, and the weather should be improving, and it's much lighter in the evening, and so on and so forth. So this is where everything begins to start ramping up a bit, and I'll do a lot more at this time of year because of the number of opportunities available than I will at other times of the year. So yeah, looking forward to Guineas Week, and looking forward also to trading Punchestown and some of the stuff that's on the card, and hopefully should have a pretty decent week this week. So yeah, best of luck for your trading this week.
If you're interested in learning more about BetAngel, its tools, and the opportunities they present, why not visit betangel.com today to download a free trial?